Hi everybody, I'm John Holden of Land Designs Unlimited in Newtown, Connecticut, and today I'd like to go ahead and show you this foundation planting our crews just finished installing in Oxford, Connecticut. So why wait? Let's go ahead and start the tour. We just finished mulching this landscape yesterday, so I wanted to give you a quick tour. Here we are. You can see the nice contrast of the hemlock bark mulch in the lawn. Nice sweeping beds, very easy to mow. And then we've got an assortment of beautiful plant material here that's going to do a nice job adding interest to the house through the seasons. We added some stepping stones at the front of the design to give you a way to move through the landscape. And then there's another set of stepping stones over here as well. And then in this corner of the house we put a beautiful lace leaf Japanese maple that's going to do a beautiful job filling in that corner. As we move along the front of the house, you'll see there's a weeping blue Atlas cedar right there. That's going to get a little bit bigger and make the house a little more to scale when people view it from the road. I use the term anchoring the house. That tree's going to do a beautiful job to anchor the house. And then moving along the front here, we have some beautiful Olga rhododendrons, which are going to give you some spring flower, and then a nice snow fountain weeping cherry, because if you look above there, you'll see that there's some wires. This snow fountain is only going to get to be about 10 feet tall in 10-15 years, so that's a perfect tree to put underneath some wires that's not going to interfere. And then moving around the house, you see that beautiful sweeping bed line, very easy to mow. Another garden ornament there. It's always nice if you have some garden ornaments, some boulders, work them into the landscape. That's what really makes it your landscape. Whenever I can find any garden ornaments on the property, whatever there is around to work in, it always does a nice job of making that landscape yours. And then here we are moving around the side of the house. We have a beautiful viburnum here, which is going to give some size. We have a fairly large wall. Without that viburnum, you'd just be looking at this huge wall here. That viburnum is going to grow bigger and break that wall up a little bit. And on either side we have a shrub called Weigela, which has a nice pink flower in the spring, but then it has this beautiful purple foliage. And then moving around to the back of the house, very easy corner to mow around. And then we did put some stepping stones to get to your water spigot as well. Stepping stones are a nice feature to get you to where you need to be. At this point in the video, I'd like to take a few moments to show you some of the details that make this landscape so spectacular. Now, if you don't know what good landscape design and good contracting look like, you're not going to know how to ask for them. So please, stay with me just a few minutes here and let me show you some of the details that make this landscape really stand out. As you look at the beds, you'll notice that they're all kind of raised up a little bit. What we do when we're preparing our gardens for planting is bring in some really nice topsoil and compost and till it into the soil before planting. That's going to give our plants a really nice environment to spread their roots in. It's going to give them a better ability to hold water with more organic matter, and it's going to make your gardens flourish in the years to come. Whenever I get a chance, I will always add some garden ornaments or some boulders to the landscape. If you have something around the yard, whether it be some large rocks or maybe a nice little garden statue like this one here, we'll go ahead and take that and work it into your landscape. We've added some stepping stone field stones through the landscape here to get people to walk through the landscape and also to add some interest. These stepping stones are set in a concrete base and they're leveled, so it's a very gentle, easy path to walk. If you see this very nicely disguised pipe here, what that is there's a downspout farther back in the landscape, so we ended up burying the downspout and bringing it over to the edge of the garden. Now without this pipe, all that water every time it rained would be dumped in the back of the landscape, it would wash the mulch out, and would also keep the mulch very damp, which could lead to something called artillery fungus, which you definitely don't want. Folks, we had a little shower, so I just want to take a moment to show you this. Here's the pipe we installed with all the water coming out and dropping that water right into the lawn, where there's plenty of room for it to just go downhill and away from the house. Now, where the water's coming out now is much better than had we left it over by the house next to the foundation. This weeping snow fountain cherry was planted right below these wires. Now what that's going to do is stay very compact. It's a very compact tree, and it's also a weeping tree. So that's going to last for a long time without being any trouble to maintain in the landscape. As we were landscaping, we noticed the grade was very close to these basement windows. So what we did is we went out and got some cement window wells and put some gravel in there. That's going to keep water away from the basement, and even if there's some heavy downpours, water will never go into the basement. At the back of the house there's a hose spigot. So while we were going ahead and setting the fieldstone stepping stones in the front of the landscape, we took these two existing bluestones, leveled them, set them in some concrete so they're very stable. As you look at the back of this landscape, notice how there's a good 2 to 3 feet between the edge of the house and the plants. That's going to give your plants room to grow without growing into the house. It's going to be easier to maintain, and it's going to prevent any mold from growing on your home. Thank you for watching our video today. For more information about our company, please visit our website at landdesigns.com